Today we are going to start with the coordinate geometry. Actually, we completed algebra and trigonometry. After that, we are going in geometry portions. Okay. So what I am observing means in the 10th class syllabus that totally attached with the ninth, as we know, as we all know that. So we will start the topic from the ninth class onwards. Means how that coordinates will located in that coordinate systems, coordinate axis. Okay, and how we gave the name on that. So students, what they are thinking means, as we know, means last year that all years that spoiled because of the pandemic, and I hope means maximum students they are not able to attend the whole classes of class 9 also, and those who are attending, those who are new in the class 10 also. So what we are thinking, we will cover your ninth syllabus and the 10th syllabus in that topic and in geometry portions. Okay, so you can get the terms easily. Okay, and that will be very easy to solve the questions based on the geometry also. Okay, so now let's do without wasting our time and see, as we all know, this axis means nothing but the integers line. Two integers lines are there that is perpendicular to each other, and that we are saying as a axis, that is called horizontal. Like horizontal lines we are calling as a x-axis, and the right side will be the positive x-axis and the left side will be the negative x-axis. Okay, and at the vertical line is there, that upward part we call the positive y-axis, and downward part is called negative y-axis. Okay. So they will distribute the name on that, means like that. Suppose when they intersect each others, when the two horizontal lines intersect each others, that point is called origins, and we are naming that origin as a 0, 0. So how the terms are represented means how we are saying that 0, 0 as a coordinate. Okay. So as we know, this is called abscissa. First terms we are saying that abscissa, and this second coordinate is called ordinate. The terms they are mentioned in that book also, and abscissa and ordinate. Actually, we are saying simply, if you say that it will be the x value and this will be the y value of yours. Okay. So whenever you will move in that x-axis line, you get the x-axis value, and whenever you are moving in the y-axis line, that the way you will get the y-axis line. Now, some points we need to keep in our mind. Suppose let's some people they are standing on the origin portions where that two lines are intersect each other, and he is moving towards the positive y-axis. So he is moving towards the positive y-axis, means whatever the points he is getting, that will be only the x-axis points. So here they are not moving towards the y-axis or negative y-axis or positive y-axis. So here, if you move on the x-axis line, you get the y is always 0 on that. Suppose if I say to what is the point on x-axis line where if that a term is touching -4 at x-axis. Okay, so what if y coordinates, you can directly write it as a 0 here. Okay, means the key point is what, whenever that person is moving on the x-axis, the y coordinate is always 0, and whenever they are moving on the y-axis, because they are moving on the y-axis, they are not moving towards the x-axis positive or negative x-axis, because they are moving horizontally. So we can say that is a x coordinate will be 0 on the y-axis line. Okay, so let's do, suppose we are representing coordinate as a x comma y, that is a coordinate points. Okay, and as we know today, the Google Maps and all these thing maps, whatever the maps we are using, that is totally based on the applications of coordinate geometry. Okay, so if you know the coordinate exactly, suppose if I want to go at these points, simply if I want to go these points, means that you can't say that okay, from this and this we can connect it from there without measuring the things. Suppose if you want to exact location on that points, suppose let it be that point is P, I want the exact location of that point P, means I'll check how much I move towards the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so first trying to move towards the axis, suppose this point they are touching is 10, where the points which are touching on the x-axis 10, and if I notate this point on the y-axis, means suppose somewhere 11 is there, plus 11. So how we can mention that? We know x comma y, that is the x coordinate points first and the y coordinate in the second. So what is the x coordinate? That is 10, and what is the y coordinate here? 11. We can represent the points like that. So that is the exact location of that point P. So if somebody is pointing some points on that, suppose they mention you plot a comma 2 comma minus 3. So how you can go means first move towards the, this is 2 is nothing but your x-axis point, and minus 3 is nothing but your y-axis points, and you are seeing that is a negative means you have to move on the negative x-axis line, negative y-axis line. Okay, sir. So now, so how we can move on that? Suppose based on how the coordinate they are given, and based on that you can predict which coordinate and which quadrant that point is lies. Okay, suppose uh, as we know, this is a positive x-axis and positive y-axis. So whatever the points that lies in this quadrant, that is called the first quadrant line. And here both x also positive and y also positive. Okay, so that is called first quadrant. And trigonometry also you can use as a quadrant line there, positive x and positive y, because that belongs to positive x side and negative positive y axis. Suppose if you are moving to this coordinate, second quadrant, so here what you are seeing that these are the origin left side, left hand side, and here we are seeing this is minus x is there. So minus x means here x will be always minus, and that is y axis is above, means y will be positive on that axis. Okay, so by seeing the coordinate means you can identify which coordinate that point is right there. Okay, so that will be the third quadrant. This will be the third quadrant. Here x is also negative and y is also negative here. So here both the coordinates are negative in this third quadrant. Fourth quadrant is x is positive and y is negative. So see, if they mention the point, that will be minus 2 comma 3. Minus 2 comma 3 means x is negative, y is positive. X is negative, y is positive. In this quadrant is the second quadrant. So in second quadrant, you can plot that points directly, and that is right in the second quadrant. Means by seeing that coordinate axis, by seeing that coordinate points, you can assume that point is right in which quadrant. Okay. So these are the things that mentioned in the ninth classes. They will give you the terms. They will give you the, these are the things they mentioned in that ninth classes, and so many questions are there based on that coordinate system. Means how to plot those points on that coordinate axis. Suppose minus 3 comma 0, they will ask you which what is the position of minus 3 comma 0. So from this we can say that is a minus x-axis line is there, and from this we can say that is a 0. So that person is not moving towards the y-axis, because y coordinate is 0, means we can directly assume that is there in the x-axis line, and that is a negative part of that x-axis line. Means suppose somewhere minus 3 is there, means this point is called minus 3 comma 0. So by seeing that coordinate system, by seeing that coordinate, we can identify means which coordinate, which quadrant, and where that point is lies in the coordinate system. Okay, so with means they elongated these portions in the 10th classes, and based on these portions they gave some means topics like distance between 2 points, section formula, and based on that section formula they divide, means one line will be there, that is a or b line is there, and that point is divided, some points is b is divided in the ratio m is to n. These type of things are there in that section formula. Means some points are there that divided the lines. Okay, so some specifications will be there, means we will see those things one by one. Okay, so now first we will do some questions. Based on that, you we can predict means where, from where that point coordinate, in which coordinate that point is lies. Suppose let it be point minus 2 comma minus 3, and 2 comma minus 7, 3 comma 0, 0 comma minus 7, and 8 comma 3. So let it be try to plot these points, in which coordinate that point is like. By seeing these things means what here, minus x is also negative, y is also negative. So both the coordinate are negative in which quadrant? That is a third quadrant. So we can say this point is lies in third quadrant. Okay. So now what about this one? Here x is positive, positive x is there. Here negative y is there. So x is positive, y is negative means which quadrant is that? That is the fourth quadrant. So that point is lies in the fourth quadrant. Okay. What about this one? 3 comma 0. 3 comma 0 means x is positive and y is 0. Y is 0 means we can say that the point is lies on the x-axis and this is positive x side. Positive x side at the point 3. So this point is lies on the x-axis. This point is lies on x-axis. Okay, we can say directly point is lies on x-axis. Now what about this one 0 comma minus 7? Here 0 comma minus 7 means here x is 0. X is 0 and y is negative. X is 0 and y is negative means that point is right on the y-axis, because on y-axis only that x will be negative, x will be 0 and that is a y is negative means we can say that is a downward part of y-axis, that point is right. Means we can say that this point is on y-axis, on negative y-axis you can write that in negative y-axis. What about this one 8 comma 3? 8 comma 3 means again both are the positive line, x also positive, y also positive, means what we can say that both the points are lies in the first quadrant, because first quadrant only that that both the points x and y coordinate will be the negative there. Okay, means positive here. Okay, so this in this way we can substitute, we can find out the coordinate, means where that point is lies on the coordinate system. Okay, so these things are there in that 9th class syllabus. Okay, so let's do what is there in that 10th class syllabus actually, and we know this much is very important for the 9th classes, and we know this is the important. If you understand in the 9th classes means, then only you can solve the problems on based on the coordinate system in the 10th classes also. Suppose they ask you to find the distance between 2 points. Suppose they mentions 1 comma 2. Some points are there. 1 comma 2 means positive points. Some points is there in that, and one point is suppose minus 2, minus 3. Some points are there in that. This will be 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2, and this point is there. So in 9th classes, what we learn means how to plot that points on the coordinate systems. Now in 10th classes, based on that coordinate systems, we will find some application on that. Means suppose point A, some friend home is there, and point B is another friend is there. Suppose if you want to find the distance between these two friends home, suppose at point A to B, what is the distance between these two? So what is the distance between these two is there? Then formula will come, means based on that we can identify means what is the distance between this A and B exactly. Okay, so these things we need to keep our mind, means if coordinate is lies on that, means how we can identify. Now let's check the formula, means what are the things we need to keep on the mind and what are the things are needed in that. Okay, so let's we will decide the coordinate system first. Let point A will be here and point B will be A, and put this as A and this will be as a B. So let's attach that point. They need to find the distance between this A and this B. Okay, so now point mark this one. As we know, this is an x-axis line. We can write this is the x1 and this will be the y1. You can keep it like so. This distance is your x1 and this distance is your y1. Now take this point as a x-axis line and this will be on the y-axis line. Okay, so let this point is x2 and comma y2. Okay, so this distance is your x2 point and this distance is your y2 points. So as we are seeing, these are making a right angle triangle over there. Okay, these are making right angle triangle over there. So that points, this will be the O points. Okay, so here we are seeing in what we are seeing here that BOA is nothing but right angle triangle is there. So from Pythagoras theorem we can say AB square that is the hypotenuse, where 90 is there means against will be the hypotenuse there. So AB square is nothing but OB square plus OA square. Okay, so AB square, AB is the distance between these 2 points, what we need on that. And OB is what means, OB is this distance. This distance total is y2 and this is your y1. So if you subtract this minus this means you get this distance. Okay, so you get y2 minus y1, this will be the whole square, plus again similarly OA is mean this distance means nothing but this total is x1, this is x2 and this will be the x1. So you get this point, this distance. So this is a x2 minus x1 whole square. Now I want AB only. AB means AB equals to under root. As we know, plus or minus will come when we remove the square over there. But this is we are representing the distance between 2 points. So distance will never negative, so it is always positive. So that's why we are not mentioning negative points here. Okay. So under root, this will be the y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. Now this is the distance formula. Means if they gave you the coordinate system, means how you can identify, means what is the distance between these 2 points. Okay, so that we need to keep. Now see this is a formula, no need to remember that formula ki y2 minus y1 will be there or x2 minus x1 will be there. Means what we can keep, if somebody forget the formula, they will confuse in that y1 minus y is there, y1 minus y2 is there, or y2 minus y1 is there. Okay, so no need, don't worry for that, because we have a square term here. It means any square term is there, either it may give the negative value or positive value, that is always be the positive value. Understand? So if you keep y1 minus y2 also, you will get the same answer, and y2 minus y1 also you will get the same answer. So don't confuse on that. And this is the things we need to understand under the coordinate system. Okay. So let's do, we will do some problems, one problems, and based on that we will see how to identify the distance between 2 points. Let's do here, and let this A is the point which is 2 comma 3, because these all are the, we plot in that coordinate system. So this will be the 4 comma 5, let it be. So coordinate they mentioned means A coordinate they given. Solution means A coordinate they given. A is nothing but 2 comma 3 and B is nothing but 4 comma 5. Now first what you will do, first assume x1 and y1, this is your point 1 x1 y1, this is your x2 y2. Now as we know the formula, AB distance is nothing but AB equals to under root, that is a formula, x2 minus y, x2 minus I, x1, x2 is 4 minus 2 whole square plus y2 is 5 minus 3 whole square. Okay, so what is the value there? 4 minus 2 is nothing but 2 square plus 2 square, because 5 minus 3 is also 2. So 2 square 4, 4 plus 4, so we can get this is a under root 8. So under root 8 is nothing but we can write 2 into 4, 2 into 4. So that answer will get from this 4, 2 will come out, and this will be the 2. So you can mention that 2 unit, 2 root 2 unit. So this way you can calculate the distance between 2 points. So this was for today. Means we will again come back with the next points, and we will solve some more problems on that. Definitely we'll solve more problems. Means up to the higher level. Means whatever the questions they will give you in that your examination, up to that level we will do on the do here. Okay, so this much, because the concept, if once we understand the concept based on that, then very easy for understand the other things. Okay, so let's we will do the next points on that next classes.